All right, I have arrived at the Rainforest. So this place has been my inspiration for coming out this way. I had seen someone post a video about coming here and it just looks so magical and beautiful. So I wanted to see it for myself. And the benefit of being out here, there's so many different places you can visit, but this was the inspiration. I'm here really early. I got up from my campsite at maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, and drove here from Forks, Washington, in about 50 minutes or so. So on the way in, I thought I saw, they were actually elk. It was a whole elk family on the way in. Which was pretty cool. They were all standing in the middle of the road. And then when you pass by them, they're kind of looking at you like, what are you doing? Right? This is their land. But we're headed to the Hall of Mosses Trail. So excited. Let's see what it looks like. The smell is reminding me of the plant nursery at like Home Depot. That's what it smells like. It's so fresh. Look at this. So it looks like we have three options. We're going to do the Hall of Mosses first on the left. Alright, so according to that sign, we're headed to a higher elevation with more ancient trees. Just look at the massiveness of these freaking trees. Like, look at that. It's so quiet in here. It almost feels like, I mean, granted it is early in the morning, but there's a lot of people. It feels like a library or something. It's just so quiet and just, it feels like, oh gosh, I wish I can put it into words. It's like spirit is moving because you can feel the surroundings, but you can't hear anything. I don't know, it's amazing. Apparently this moss that we're seeing everywhere is called lichen. And it's literally growing on everything, at least in the rainforest here in Olympic. More lichen here. We're now approaching the iconic Hall of Mosses, where the forest wears a cloak. Most of these trees are big leaf maples draped in thick mosses. Every limb seems alive. This scene has been centuries in the making, a testament to the rainforest's patience and resilience. Just look at the sun peeking through. It gives it this golden aura. So I went to Quinault Rainforest yesterday. This one is way more lush than Quinault. Quinault was gorgeous. I didn't think it could get any better than what I was seeing at Quinault Rainforest yesterday. But this is unreal. Absolutely unreal. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to even be able to do things like this and be in good health and the right state of mind to enjoy the things that we have on this earth, you know? Just so grateful. Trails out here have been pretty easy. I see a lot of retirees, so I think these trails are carved out and planned for anyone to be able to do because they're very easygoing and they don't feel strenuous. Not yet, at least. I have a couple of more stops to make while I'm out here, so I could be eating my words. But so far, easygoing. You can actually enjoy it without huffing and puffing. So I just learned about nurse logs. Look at this entanglement here. So basically, when a tree dies and falls over, then the seedlings implant themselves in that tree and it helps the seedlings to germinate. And then you get this kind of root system of the seedlings that are growing above ground until they are strong enough to plant their own roots. It's very interesting, though. Here's another nurse log situation. You can see the root systems of the newer tree. It's like little scary fingers reaching out. Look at the moss on this one. Jeez Louise. So these spruce trees in the whole rainforest grow to between 220 up to 300 feet tall. Like, the average rainfall here in Ho Rainforest is, I think, 12 feet a year. So, I mean, I guess the more rain you have, the bigger the vegetation will be. But it's just created an absolutely amazing, beautiful resource for us to look at. Just the most aesthetically pleasing thing words can't describe. I'm just in awe. So the Hall of Mosses Trail was, I'd say it was at least a half mile, maybe closer to a mile. Now we're gonna do the Spruce Trail, and I believe that one's even shorter, but we'll see what that looks like. So these creeks are spawning grounds for salmon. They're not spawning right now. I think it's late fall into into the winter that they start spawning. The sign says that there's over 200 species of plants and animals that thrive off of the carcasses of salmon, dead salmon. That whole river trail is 17.5 miles. And apparently there's aggressive elk with calf on this trail. But there's the whole river trail. With your warning, they're not playing with you at all, okay? Leave the elk alone. So, of course, we're not going to do this 17 miles. Like, if I lived out here, or I was going to be out here for an extended period of time, already done. And it looks so gorgeous. Look at that staircase. Oh, I digress. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the spruce trail, and we'll see what that's about. Okay, so this spruce trail, it says where I'm standing is a former riverbank, and it's a more wide open area where Douglas firs have enough room to grow. And it's a 1 1/4 mile loop trail. Lots of different plants represented on this trail. And it is powered by the whole river. This is a Douglas fir. It doesn't look like it's doing too well. Oh no, maybe it's fine. It's just full of moss, so it just looks bad, but it's probably doing okay. There's another one. Look at me identifying trees and stuff. You go, girl. And did I mention that these mosquitoes care nothing about your bug spray? So on the Spruce Trail, 1/4 mile into the Spruce Trail, there's a little alcove where the whole river runs, and the backdrop is mountains of, I don't know, but it is breathtaking. Let me show you. Let me turn this way. Like, you guys. It's like it's not even real. And this area over here would be a perfect camp spot. Like right around these areas would be perfect to pitch a tent and just camp and barbecue some decent food and just listen to that bubbling of the river. It's just amazing. Anyway, let me move on because I'll be here all day. I'm actually thinking about doing the Hall of Mosses trail one more time. Just one more time. Because, I don't know. When am I going to be out here again, you know? Anywho, I'm going to keep walking for now. We'll see what happens later. Okay, so I just walked up on what looked like just a root, but as you get closer, it is a fallen tree. And then how we talked about nurse logs, all of these, there's the root system, but all of these are new trees that have grown out of the old tree. Like, look at this. And they're baby trees, but they're literally using the dead tree for nutrient. And then if you go over this side, This is the dead tree. It's freaking humongous. It goes all the way. I can't even see how far it goes because there's a lot of vegetation. Where else are you gonna see stuff like this? Where else? Like, freaking amazing. Everything about this forest is it correlates to the life that we live. Like, it's the life that we live. We're born, we die. Death brings new life. This forest exemplifies that in the simplest way. Just the circle of life is amazing. The old brings in the new. The old nurtures the new. That's the life we're living on this earth. And I think when you get to experience things like this and really soak it in for what it is, it brings everything into perspective. So all the things that feel chaotic, you just kind of breathe it out and bring it back to the basics. And these are the basics. It's freaking, ugh. If I say, I'm going to do a word count for how many times I say beautiful or gorgeous. I don't know which one I say the most. Or maybe I say awesome a lot too. But they are all definitely adjectives for what I've seen so far. The life that we're living, or the life that we're forced to live, right, is kind of like, I equate it to like Monopoly. It's a game. We're trying to earn things, build things, achieve things, get all the little trinkets, the houses, the cars. But when you have the ability to break things back down to the basics and you're out in nature, you see it for what it is. It's really meaningless. We do it because we have to play. If you choose not to play, then you'll be destitute, right? But we have to play, so we play. And some people play better than others. But regardless of where we're at on that Monopoly board game, being out in nature like this helps bring it all into perspective. Everything you stressed about, everything that feels impossible, doesn't feel so impossible. I don't know. At least for me. Now that I'm leaving, I'm going to go ahead and head into the visitor center, see what's in there. It was just an amazing place. I just want to see what the visitor center is talking about. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And there's the mom. Alright, so I was about to leave, and it looks like there is a Rainforest talk at 9:30, and I mean, I just have to go to that. I was trying to beat the tide. I'm trying to go to this place called Hole in the Wall, and you have to get there during low tide to access it. And I know for a fact that low tide is going to be starting around 10 a.m. and it's almost 9:30. It's 9:15. I mean, worst case scenario is it looks like there's a low tide in the morning and in the evening. So worst case scenario is I have to double back out there, but the beach is mandatory. So anyway, right now we're gonna put our sneakers on and throw all this stuff in the car and go listen to Rainforest talk.